You didn't expect me back again. I'm Larry Gostin. Anyway, sorry, Larry couldn't be here, and so I'm going to read his introduction to, I think I'm going to read it, for Alan Westin, who couldn't be here either. I think many of you know Alan is recovering, and we wish him very well, and he wanted to be here, and so, you know, when we first talked to him about this award, he said, well, I can't come. And I said, well, we can fix that, you know. We'd love to present this award to you, even if you cannot come. And so he chose his law partner, Bob Belair, to accept on his behalf. So let me read Larry's words about Alan. It's a great pleasure to present this award to Alan Westin, which will be accepted by my longtime associate, Robert Belair. Just so you know, or his longtime associate, Robert Belair, excuse me. Alan Westin is Professor Emeritus of Public Law and Government at Columbia University, where he's taught for 37 years. Professor Westin, as I'm sure you know, is perhaps the father of the field of consumer data privacy and protection, including health privacy protection. His 1967 pioneering book, Privacy and Freedom, is the seminal work in the information privacy field. Professor Westin's work on the book was supported by Carnegie, initially as a project of the Special Committee on Science and Law of the Association of the Bar of the City of New York. Privacy and Freedom was path-breaking in its inclusion of the rapidly developing field of data surveillance. Dr. Westin is currently finishing a massive book, we're all waiting for this, titled Privacy in Western Civilization. Can't wait to read it. From the Hebrews and Greeks to the internet age. Yes. During the 1970s, Westin edited the Civil Liberties Review, a bi-monthly publication of the American Civil Liberties Union Foundation, from his home. And with Robert Belair, Dr. Westin founded Privacy and American Business, a nonprofit think tank that they led in Washington from 1993 to 2006. So, Robert, Bob, would you come accept for Alan?
Thank you.
Thanks so
Let me
much
put
for
this
being
down,
here.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's leave it here.
Put it right there. Alan really wanted to be here, and he extends his best wishes to all of you, and he is recovering. I met Alan Westin in 1969 as a first-year law student at Columbia. Alan was doing a project on NYSIS, which was then collecting tolls on the New York State Thruway, but it was also for the first time taking photos of license plates. Imagine that. I thought it was a fascinating project. I applied. He said to me, well, you don't read very well. I said, I want a 2L. You don't even know how to do research. And I said, well, would you just give me a chance for 2 weeks? If it doesn't work out, don't pay me. So he laughed, and here we are almost 45 years later. He's been my colleague right along. And of all the work Alan's done, and he has done, and Deborah's alluded to it, really, really important work. Our whole notion of fair information practice, our notion that individuals ought to be able to exercise control over their personal information, really arises first from Alan's book in 1967, Privacy and Freedom, later Databanks in a Free Society in 1973. So he would really appreciate the great company that he's in tonight. He would greatly appreciates getting the award from Deborah and from this organization. He left me strict instructions that I'm to say 4 things. So here we go quickly. 1, he really likes Louis Brandeis. He talked about him a fair amount in his book. And one of the things he likes is that, as you know, Brandeis and Warren in 1890 wrote about technology outflanking protections then available. He was worried, Brandeis was, about what he called snap photography. He was worried about telephones, and he recognized right away that existing tort notions were inadequate. Secondly, as some of you know, Alan loves public opinion surveys. Done over 50 of them, and over 12 of them deal with privacy, with health privacy. And his point is that of all the areas, and there are so many important privacy areas, financial records that Ed talked about, employment records, various kinds of surveillance, the American public, Alan's surveys show, and others do as well, care most about the privacy of their health information. Third, Alan is fond of saying that he's a Libra, and so he's always looking for a balance. And in the case of health records, this is the most challenging balance of all, and Ed Markey alluded to this. We've got to use technology effectively. We've got to share information to provide health care and to drive down cost. And we've got to still, and first and foremost, protect privacy. It's a hard deal, and it's all about balance. And then lastly, Alan said, be sure to emphasize, we have got to continue to move toward electronic health records. It requires public trust to do that. His surveys show that only about 25% of the public believes that we can do that in a way that is protective of their personal privacy. Al Franken the other day, Senator Franken, lambasted the problems associated with the misuse of health records. Data breaches, terrible problem. We have a lot of data breaches in this space. We've got to do better. So those are the 4 things. Let me, on behalf of Alan, thank all of you for the great work you do, and Deborah. Thank the other award winners, and keep up the great work, guys. Thank you.